They calling me to come back to the streets to explain how to swing on the beat, said it was necessary. These bald ass bums out here very scary. They're swinging high and cuffing hoes like it's February. Damn, oh my god. If you're new, go ahead and subscribe. We're going to be playing Marvel Spider-Man 2 and explaining the web swinging assistants and how each one is very, very different. Everybody kind of wants an explanation of what it means or what it is for this to be adjusted. And honestly, I'm here to explain it all completely. So let's just say this. Number 10 is essentially the lightest that you are. You're basically a feather at that point. So let's go ahead and test it real quick. When you go out and you're swinging around the city, I was going to do this in a controlled environment, but this is good enough. You can basically see it, right? You can't hit any cars. You're swinging so low, and essentially, I mean, you're not going to hit anything. You could do this the entire time. You even saw me there. I can float, basically. So when I'm swinging, it automatically saves me from touching the ground. I think everybody understands this. This is essentially what the swinging was in the first game. And I think that a lot of people, I mean, in my opinion, they like that swinging. But I think what's a lot better about this game is that you can actually customize that. So when you go into the settings, of course, you can go down and adjust that. And the very, aspect of even doing that is incredible. But let's go ahead and talk about this. The fact that you could go down to 8, it basically makes you a little bit heavier. That's all it does. When you're actually looking at like what this game is doing, it's just making you heavier. Like when it says, oh, it causes physics to have a greater effect on the web lines while swinging, it really feels more like the physics have a more greater effect on you as a character. So, I mean, it's very hard to demonstrate with these higher levels because when you go out, it essentially feels relatively the same. There are moments where you could potentially screw up, but like if you're on 8, if you're on 9, 10, like right there I kind of screwed up. And honestly, it's because my timing was off. So I think, yeah, sometimes your timing could be off and you could just fall over. And if the building's too far away on 8, you could potentially hit the ground. But it's a lot less, frequent. It's a lot less frequent to touch the ground and do crazy stuff like that with 8 than it is with, of course, like the lower levels. So, meaning that, let's go ahead and go down. And let's go ahead and just skip down to 5. I think 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 all feel relatively the same. There are going to be moments with 6 and 7 where you might touch the ground and you might feel like you're kind of trying a little bit harder. But 5 is where it starts. That's where everything kind of starts to change and shift into feeling a lot heavier. So let's go ahead and try this. Let's go ahead and go this way. When you go down and you're swinging, you could already kind of feel it. I'm already getting close to trucks and shit. And that's terrifying. Like, it kind of saved me there. And you could feel it kind of save you every once in a while. But your balls kind of shrink up. You know what I mean? You're like, holy shit. Right there, I'm holding it again. I'm trying. And look how sideways I am. The webs are trying to go to the closest building, right? And when it does that, it kind of has that little twisty effect when you're close to the ground. So that's how you know that the webs are having a bit of a fucking effect. Like right there, 100% assist. Like if I didn't have any assist on, no way I would have touched the ground. Same thing with there too. So let's go ahead and go down, right? I think 5 and 4 are relatively the same. And then 3, 2, and 1 are also relatively the same too. So let's go ahead and look at 3. We'll also go down to 2, and we'll look at 1 as well. But the big thing that I want to get at is looking at all these also compared to 0. Because when we get down to 0, you'll see the effect. It's just incredibly different. But right now for 3, you feel it, right? I mean, like, you definitely know that you're getting lower. There are aspects where you're kind of like, can I even do that? And right there, look at that. On 3, 2, and 1, you are going to hit cars. You're going to hit buildings. You are going to die. Like, 100%. I was web swinging a bunch of times yesterday. I'll show some clips. But I literally am, like, going for tricks and stuff like that. And when you're going for tricks and you're being a little bit more risky like that, you can actually just fuck up completely and completely hit the ground and die.
My back!
And that's like really what's interesting about this game. I'm not going to really die right here because I'm already in control. But when we go down to 1, let's go ahead and go down to 1. 2 basically feels like 3. A little bit heavier, but it feels essentially like 3. And 1 is where you're starting to feel that little border between like crazy, I'm not going to do shade between crazy physics and like almost like help, because it's still helping you at 1. Like, you're still going to get away with a bunch of shit that you shouldn't be getting away with if you didn't have web assist. So, like, even here, I'm like, I feel completely fine here, and I feel like I can get away with a lot more
I mean, like, yeah, it feels relatively the same. Right here, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, it's getting a little crazy there. So I was getting a little out of control right there. And when you get into situations like that, it does kind of get hard to recover. And that's where, like, of course, the web wings come in and stuff like that, where the boosts and stuff like comes in, because all of that helps you as well. But when I think 1, 2, and 3 are a really nice balance if you're trying to just get that cinematic feel without trying, like, you know, incredibly hard. You're going to be doing stuff that's incredibly hard, but it's not going to be as difficult as 0. And we'll get into 0 right now. I think 0 is just... 0 is sometimes such a fucking pain in my ass. And it's really, really crazy how much the assistance you feel. Like, right there, that just feels crazy by itself. But let's go ahead and go down to the ground. This is where things start getting bonkers, alright? When you start swinging with 0, when you're jumping up, alright, normal, you know, you're doing your thing. When you're swinging, you're getting really low, right? Just watch. Just wait for it. Shit like that. That, when you're playing for the first time on 0, that's going to happen to you at least a dozen times for the first hour, if not more. Like, I was like, what the hell is wrong with this? And you had to get up higher. And that's the thing, too, is that with this, you really do have to get up incredibly high. And you have to pull off momentum things. Like right there. If I didn't jump right there, I would have been screwed. Holy shit, I was going bonkers there for a second. And that felt so satisfying to do. If I didn't jump right there, that gate would have hit my momentum and stopped me. And I'm getting so low to the ground, I'm like, how am I even doing this to begin with? Right here, boom, truck. I hit the truck so goddamn hard, it exploded and killed all the people. So, you see what I mean there. Like, if that truck didn't completely evaporate into nothingness and get Thanos snapped into fucking thin air, I think that I would have taken some damage there. And that's a really cool aspect of the game. Like, a lot of people don't understand how cool that is. And I think a lot of people that are using the web assist, I'm not saying that you're bad or anything like that. I think that that's actually a really cool aspect where people can adjust and actually customize their own web swing abilities and their own web swing, traversal mechanics, or at least, like, the way it flows. You know, that's actually really cool, because everybody has their own little web swing tendencies. You know, everybody has their own different way of playing web swinging. So I really am glad that they gave us more of an option to really customize that web swinging, to really make something like, you know, that future developers that make Spider-Man games kind of look to as inspiration, because this shit's bonkers, and I fucking love this shit so much, and holy shit, I planned all that, but I couldn't follow through. You know, if I followed through, that would have felt so much more satisfying. But there's certain things that stop you from doing that, and it's not even the game itself. It's like, it's really on you to focus and do certain things so your momentum doesn't die. So I really like this. I really can't wait until, you know, the next game comes out too. I'm like already thinking about the next game, but I personally can't wait to see how they actually even improve upon this and how this goes upon further, and you know, and like how this can even be, you know, even more improved. I think the only thing they could really do here for the web swinging, at least in my mind, is running down walls. You know what I mean? Because, like, when you're going on a wall, I guess I could already do an example here.
My back!
When you're going down a wall, when you're going like this and you hit a wall, you can't really go down. You could push, like, sideways and you could go down like that, but when you're going down, you can't really do it. You know, you can't go downward. And that's something that I think would actually slightly improve, you know, the flow of the wall running in many ways, because it just feels like you're stuck going up all the time. But I personally think that either way, whatever they do for the next time, it's going to be phenomenal. And I really can't wait to see what it is. If you guys are new, I really hope you liked this explanation video. It was a lot of fun to make. I've been playing like so many hours of this web swinging. I've had so much time on my hands, luckily, because my work, I don't really have to go in all the time right now. I'm basically in a good spot. So I really am loving this game. If you're new, go ahead and subscribe. I really appreciate all the support. If you're wanting to see more of me, go ahead to my Twitter. That would be greatly appreciated if you go follow there. And also my Instagram, too. This is such a goddamn hypnotizing game. I think that's the word I'm looking for right there, is hypnotizing. Because, I mean, like, holy crap. This is literally the game that kids dream of playing. And this is the game that I thought I would be playing when I'm, like, you know, fucking, when I was, like, 6 years old. And I'm like, the future of gaming is real. We never really got that, you know what I mean? But this shit right here was fucking dope! That was so close, bro. If I fucking kept going, that would have been bonkers. See, things like that, the more you improve, the more you kind of, like, learn what you're doing, it could really, really benefit you in a long way. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed Thank you so much for watching, and I'm gonna keep playing this until I die.